As he traversed the dense forest on the outskirts of the city, following the distressed screams that had earlier pierced the tranquility of the area, the young E-rank adventurer felt an ominous chill in the air, warning of the gruesome scene to come. Approaching a modest home tucked away in the woods, its front door left crookedly ajar, he cautiously stepped inside, one hand gripping the hilt of his sheathed sword in preparation for whatever lay within. The coppery stench of blood assaulted his senses even before his eyes fell upon the decapitated corpse sprawled on the floor, neck ending in a ragged stump still oozing rivulets of crimson. Muted cries drew his attention upstairs where, at the end of the hall, two men in the uniform of the city guard had a terrified young woman cornered, her back pressed against the wall as she wildly swung a kitchen knife covered in blood. The pungent odor of liquor emanating from the pair immediately signaled to the adventurer that they were heavily intoxicated. Spinning around with sneers on their faces at the interruption, they berated him for interfering in matters unrelated to him, threatening unspeakable violence should he continue his meddling. The leading assailant arrogantly proclaimed his status as the son of the city guard captain, warning that if the adventurer knew what was good for him, he would leave them to their depraved amusement. Refusing to allow such vile acts, the young adventurer drew his blade. Though clearly outmatched against the son of the guard captain, who possessed at least D-rank strength, the adventurer fought with all his might. Their swords clashed violently in the small room as the woman cowered in the corner. The adventurer struggled to hold his own against his powerful opponent. In the chaos, the first guard inadvertently knocked his own head against the wall, falling unconscious. The adventurer now dueled solely against the captain's son, steel ringing against steel. For a moment he had the chance to deal a lethal blow, but stayed his hand. Though it pained his sense of justice, he showed mercy. Disarming rather than killing the villain, the adventurer swiftly bound the drunken pair for transport to the authorities, hoping true justice would prevail. The next evening, as the adventurer returned from another quest, a sense of foreboding gripped him. He decided to check on the woman's house on his way back, hoping she was recovering from her trauma. As he approached through the woods, his heart sank at the sight of smoking ruins where the modest home had stood. The Adventures Guild clerk somberly informed him of the reported goblin attack that had strangely reached so close to the city, tragically claiming the lives of the residents. With growing unease, the adventurer recounted the previous day's events involving the city guard captain's reprehensible son. The clerk's frown deepened as she acknowledged the likely truth. The perpetrator's influential father had ensured his crimes would carry no consequences. She had heard whispers of his past misdeeds also erased by his father's authority. Sending the villain out of town was probably the extent of any justice served. She cautioned the adventurer to stay silent, as their small guild had no power to contend with the corrupt captain. She darkly admitted the only way to stop such evil was to have killed him when the chance arose, as people like him would never face true justice. Allowing that villain escape planted a seed of vengeance in the adventurer's heart. If law could not bring justice, he accepted that the duty may fall to him. To truly protect the innocent, darkness must sometimes be faced on its own terms, with ruthlessness, not naive mercy.